Thought I'd make a short video on the '59 Chevy. Have it stored away for the winter, all covered up. Looking good. Check out under the hood. I got a battery maintainer on it. And this thing on my head. Hopefully it still videos where I want to see. I rebuilt the transmission in it this past September. It has a 3-speed synchromesh, and the car was getting hard to get into second gear when it was warmed up. So the synchro clutch needed to be replaced. So I took the transmission all apart and completely rebuilt it. New thrust bearings, bushings, reverse idler gear was chipped. Replaced the first reverse gear, the synchro clutch. While it was out, I had some clutch chatter, so I decided to put a new clutch in it. I was going to turn the flywheel, but looked into it, and the brother also told me that the flywheel, if they're resurfaced, they tend to chatter. So what I did was I bought a brand new flywheel for it, and there we go. Get some light on the engine. And put a new starter drive gear in it too, because the teeth were a little chipped on the original flywheel and I didn't want to ruin the new flywheel with an old starter gear. So I did put the new starter gear, and I got a battery maintainer on it, as you can see right there. And I also sent the drive shaft out. Had new center drive shaft bearing put in, new U-joints, and had it all rebalanced, and the front tube was bent, so they had to replace the front. Let's see if we can get the camera on the front drive shaft tube. There's the rebuilt transmission, 3-speed. I guess it's a Muncie. I thought it was a Saginaw. The drive shaft, you can see all, I don't know if you can see it, there you go, all nice and shiny. The U-joint was bad when I bought the car in 1978, and it hammered the yoke out, and I thought it was the transmission end of the yoke, and I got a new one. When I took the drive shaft out to rebuild the trans, I noticed it was the shaft end, and I took the clips off and the joint just fell out, so I had to have that repaired. When I took it in, they said the front tube was bent, so they replaced the front tube also. It cost $477 to have the drive shaft rebalanced. Before I pulled the transmission, I took all the shift linkage out of the car completely, welded up all the holes that were sloppy, refiled them, fit everything together. This thing shifts, that 3 on the column shifts better than it ever has since I've owned the car. And I bought the car in 1978. So anyway, you can kind of see the underneath. I noticed that when I had the transmission and bell housing off, put a new flywheel in, the oil pan was leaking. I thought it was the rear main, but the rear main is not leaking, it's the oil pan. So I snugged up the oil pan, I didn't pull it, and that cut the leak down, but it still drips occasionally, only when it's cold. And you can see underneath of the car, fairly decent shape for a 57-year-old car. But it took about 3 or 4 days to rebuild the transmission. I got all the parts on eBay. Synchro clutch is a unique synchro clutch to a few years of this transmission. I paid $120 for it, I think, and I bought a second one for $120 or so just as a spare. I'll probably never use it. So you can see the engine compartment looks good. My mom's low mileage 2000 Cherokee. Well, low mileage, it's got over 100,000 on it, but I guess that you can consider low mileage. Inside all looks good. So another couple months, usually about maybe mid-April. We'll see what the weather brings. Usually about the 1st of May is when I start driving it. I'll make a video, I'll hook the battery up, get her cranked up, take it out for a ride. It's stored in my folks' garage for the winter. They only have the one vehicle, and they got a 2-car garage. And I have a 2-car garage, and frees up my garage to work on other things in the garage, which is kind of nice. So, yeah, check the old car out. Looks pretty darn good. I also have another video earlier of the car on the road in Savannah, Georgia. Check it out if you want. It's a 59 Chevrolet Bel Air 4-door sedan. I bought the car on March 11th, 1978. I paid $75 for it. It wasn't too long ago when I was doing some moving. I found the bill of sale from when I purchased it. So I got that stashed away now too. Been a lot of fun, doing a lot of fun cruising. I'm going to do some videos cruising Woodward this summer for the Dream Cruise. It's all summer long they cruise. It's a lot of fun. I put 5,000 miles on the car last summer out cruising in it. It's more miles than I've put on it in years. Typically I put about 2,000 miles a year on it. Looking forward to some warmer weather. We've had some warm weather. It's February 21st, I think. And the 18th and 19th were like 65 degrees. Who knows if it's going to hold. I think they're talking about a foot of snow. This is Monday, and they're talking about a big storm coming through about Wednesday or Thursday. But they've talked about a foot of snow. They've talked about rain. We'll probably get nothing. I wouldn't mind a foot of snow. It'd be kind of fun. I do like the seasons. Even though I do like the summer to cruise in the old car, it is nice to have some seasons. Enjoy the video. Thank you for watching.